is Jaron Dasher, Director of North American Sales. We welcome each and every one of you to this morning's Ask the Scientist call. I apologize that I was a little delayed getting on. I've been with a group that has been here at corporate for a few days. Showing them the opportunity here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it one more minute before we get started. I have a mic clock 10:38 Mountain Standard Time. Again, I'm going to give it 60 more seconds before we get started here. We've got a fantastic call time for you guys. We hope to be done in about 15 to 20 minutes and give you guys some golden gems for the day. So we'll get started here in about 35 seconds.
Good morning, Port Townsend, Washington. Reader display.
Morning, Portland, Oregon.
What is Polish? Good morning, Portland, Oregon.
Good morning, Vision Nation. This is Jaron Dasher, Director of North American Sales, and I want to welcome personally each and every one of you to this morning's Ask the Scientist call. We appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to get on the call and learn a little bit more about nutrition, about the products that we offer as a company. I hope that you've got some of your prospects and new distributors on the call, and of course yourself being on the call and perfecting and learning what we have to offer. So I'm going to just take a minute and explain what the call is for those that may be your first time. This is a call that we do each and every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We designed this call to create a platform for you to learn bits and pieces as you go on the products. Ingredients, why we have the ingredients, maybe the optimal time to take the products, just anything that will give you a competitive advantage for sharing the products with your prospects and even yourself, giving you some insight on maybe a better time of the day to take products for yourself, or one of the products that maybe you haven't had an experience with that you should have one with. So that is what the call is designed for. So please push your team, push your prospects, and push your people to this call to just continue that education and that personal development with the product. So again, I want to welcome you. Thank you for getting on the call. Dr. Josh Plant is the scientist here that we use to answer the questions that we get in on this call. You may be asking yourself, how do you know what questions to ask? Well, that's a great question. That is email askthescientist@visiacorp.com. And as you send those emails in, we get hundreds each and every week. We try and funnel through those and pick what the common denominator is between all of those questions and address those on this call. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome Dr. Josh Plant to the line. Josh, are you on the phone with us this morning?
I am. Good morning, Gerald.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you on. Josh and I are actually flying out here in about 30 minutes to go to the Gold Rush in Kansas. So we're prepped and ready to go. So for those that are on the line that we will be seeing, we look forward to that. Dr. Plant, I'm going to just rush through these questions here. I know that you're prepared with fantastic answers for this. I want to prep these questions with this. I've heard a lot of stories out in the field where people are concerned about possibly the caffeine that is in our products or any other stimulants that may be in the products. And I heard a great example. I want to say it was from Greg Biss, so don't quote me on this. Greg, if you're on the line, I apologize if it wasn't you. But he was telling a story about someone who was prospecting, and he was sharing with them what the XM Plus, the XM3, the XM-AM products do here at Visia. And as the gentleman was listening to our distributor, he was sipping on a Monster Energy drink. And the questions that he was asking and debating were far more prevalent and far more devastating to the body in the drink he was partaking than just simply making a transition to the XM Plus. So I want to prep each and everyone's mind that it's about education. It's about truly understanding what you're talking about and what you're being asked, and you can give an adequate and right answer. And so with that, one of the common questions that we get is sugar. And I don't want this to be an uncomfortable topic and feeling as we're talking about this morning. It's very straightforward, and as we're educated, it makes a lot of sense. So, Josh, as far as nutrition goes, and having sugar in our product and the type of sugar that's in our product and what it does for nutrition, explain to us why maybe people think it's bad, and what the misconception of having this product and this ingredient in our product line is.
Yeah, so before I begin, I just want to give a little background on sugar, right? Ultimately, sugar is the basic form of energy our cells will utilize. It will actually take in a sugar molecule, if you will, and utilize that. It's not able to take in a fat molecule. It's not able to take a protein molecule in. The only way our cells really get energy is through sugar. And so when we eat a fat or protein, what happens is our body will actually convert those into a sugar, so to speak, so that our body can utilize it. So sugars, in essence, even though they get a bad rap in a lot of the media, are an essential part of our diet. And it's found in a wide variety of nutritional fruits and vegetables out there. For example, a typical orange has nearly 30 grams of sugar in it. Carrots have a significant amount of sugar in them. And so we see that sugar is found abundantly in many nutritious products out there. And moringa doesn't fall short of this, right? There is sugar in moringa. Just as every cell in our body kind of needs sugar for energy, plants are the same way. Plants have to use sugar as a way of giving their cells energy, right? So when I eat an orange, I'm actually eating the sugar that plant is going to use for energy for itself, and I use that sugar instead. And so the reason that we have put sugar in our products, is because the nutritional value of our products is so significantly high, right, that we almost kind of need to press the body to absorb these nutrition, to kind of keep them in, if you will. Usually, 100 years ago, we would eat our nutrition in the form of a meal, right? We would sit down, there would be 3 different types of vegetables, there would be a fruit for dessert, we'd have farm-raised meat, these types of things. But today, that's not the case. Nutrition has largely been taken out. And so we have created this supplement that is so enriched with nutrition that our body, in essence, has to be kind of primed for that. And the fastest thing that kind of primes our digestive system to be prepared for nutrients is that of sugar. And so we have to put just a touch of sugar in there to help facilitate or prime our body, so to speak, for the nutrition that is coming in. And this will maximize the absorption, this will maximize the uptake, so to speak, of these nutrients on a macro scale, kind of giving us the biggest benefit of the drink as possible. And what I want to kind of touch a little bit on is, as I mentioned, sugar isn't necessarily bad. What's bad is when we take too much of sugar, especially when it is not accompanied with its proper nutrients. As I mentioned before, there's 30 grams of sugar in orange. Now that rivals many sodas. The difference is an orange is accompanied with many nutrients, specifically fiber, vitamin C. These types of things, these types of nutrients prevent a type of blood sugar spike in our bodies, which leads to obesity or uptake into our fats, the sugar uptake into our fat cells. And so moringa is chock full of these nutrients, chock full of the insoluble fiber that helps prevent that sugar spike, so to speak. So not only are we priming our bodies, we are also able to kind of get a longer energy from that sugar. We're not getting that spike that one would get from drinking a soda, so to speak, or a sugary beverage, because there are so many nutrients accompanied with it.
Awesome. Josh, we appreciate you and, the time that you spend to ensure that we're getting correct answers and correct knowledge as we get these questions in. And honestly, to attempt to answer difficult questions like this. This is something as a distributor, and if you're new listening in as a customer or distributor, that sometimes you're afraid people are going to ask, and we just have to make sure that we are equipped with the right knowledge and the right answers and answer those questions with conviction and confidence of what you're saying. So let's move into the second question, and this is about fatty acids. We've had recently a lot of questions come in concerning fatty acids. What are they, and what the purpose of them are? But Josh, I'm going to go ahead and ask you that question. What are they, and what purpose do they serve in our nutritional diets?
Yes, this is a great question, and this is one of the things that really differentiates moringa from pretty much any other botanical that's out there. So our body, just as I mentioned before, needs sugar certainly. It also needs certain fats, and a lot of times we'll call these fatty acids. These fatty acids, in essence, make the membranes of our cell. They help form our neural cells, our brain cells, our neurons. All these different things require these fatty acids. And many of these fatty acids are essential, meaning that the only way that our body can give them is through consuming them. And it cannot, for example, convert a sugar molecule into this fatty acid. The only way our bodies can get it is by eating them directly. And moringa is amazing because it contains the essential fatty acids omega 3, 6, and 9. No other botanical really has that spectrum of fatty acids. And these are so critical in today's diet because as we are, living longer and doing these things, we are seeing that there's an increase in degenerative diseases associated with the lack of certain nutrients. And what we see is when we introduce significant amounts, there's several reports that show when you introduce these essential fatty acids, there's increased cognitive performance, mental clarity. And the reason that is brain cells need these fatty acids to, in essence, protect themselves, to heal damage, and so they are critical for us to consume. The problem is they are traditionally only consumed through fish. There really isn't much found out there in the form of plants. But that's what, as I mentioned before, makes moringa so great, is that a moringa contains these essential amino acids. It's so unusual for a plant, and I wish I could stress how critical that is, both in our daily diet to get an adequate dose of these essential fatty acids, and so that we are able to continue maintaining superior brain function, cognitive performance, mind clarity, something that is so overlooked in today's diets.
So, Josh, one of the great comments, great answers. I love how you articulated that, and that actually leads us into the next question. You talk about performance, and it's not something, performance with your mind, performance with your body, being physically active and being able to do the things that you want to do and giving your body that proper nutrition. And so I like the word performance, and that takes us into, again, the third question, and that is the protein, our Prime 90. We've got our chocolate, we've got our vanilla, we've had a great response from our distributorship and our customers. It's been essential in creating a platform for people that have lost weight, that want to maintain the physicality that they're at, and make sure that their body continues to get the proper nutrition. So with that being said, and as competitors, we've got products at GNC, we've got products at big box retail shops, we've got products from competing companies. What sets us apart? What is it about our protein, our Prime 90, that sets us apart from the other products that are out there in the market?
Yeah, and again, this kind of seems to be a common thing today, is that anything in isolation, in essence, isn't good, right? Sugar, just by itself, we get spikes in blood glucose levels, all of these things. But when it's accompanied with nutrition, fiber, and other nutrients, we don't get that spike. And what we see with a lot of big box protein powders is that they are just chock full of protein, and that's it. Nowhere in nature do you see just a giant protein cube that you go and eat, right? Our bodies aren't designed to absorb and metabolize protein that way. And so what we have done here with our Prime 90 is we have utilized the moringa, the nutrients found in moringa, and complemented that with a very enriched protein. So what we are getting is we're not only just getting a protein, but we're also getting the nutrients, the compounds, the vitamins, the minerals that are essential for our body to absorb that protein, break that protein down, and reassemble it into what our body needs at that specific time. And that is so overlooked. You know, people will usually just fixate on the number. Look how much protein this one has or this one. And that's not what's important, right? What's important is ultimately how our body utilizes that protein. We want to maximize our body's efforts. And to do that, it needs to be accompanied with nutrition. So, for example, when we get protein out of nature, we'll usually find it in the form of a steak. And the steak has a lot of B vitamins associated with it. And so when we eat that steak, those B vitamins are essential for our cells to take in that protein, break it down, and reassemble it. Well, people have forgotten that. And so when they go and take their protein powders, the common protein powders, they don't have the B vitamins, so to speak. And so the body is just striving for those B vitamins to utilize that protein. And so with our Prime 90, we utilize the nutrients naturally found in moringa, which is enriched in B vitamins, enriched in iron, these kind of components that are necessary to utilize that protein that's complementing that Prime 90 to make essence the leading protein powder on the market. Your muscles will respond quicker to it. Your body will feel more full. These types of things are critical to maximize the benefits of protein.
Thank you, Josh. That was very, again, elegantly said, very informative. And I just want to remind people of a few key points here. Talking about Ken Belford and his vision of what he saw when he watched the Moringa documentary that I hope that everyone on this call has seen. And if you haven't, please get with the person that got you on this call and watch it. What Ken saw was simply a way, a product, a plant, a botanical that could possibly replace hundreds of products that he has been a part of over the 35 plus years in the industry. And on top of that, giving people the proper nutrition with Moringa oleifera. That is who we are. We are the Moringa company. We have a competitive advantage. We have a competitive edge to our competitors out there, and that is the Moringa. We all have an experience with it, and don't forget what that experience is. We've seen testimonials. We know people who have been on the products and that have had success, and their quality of life has increased. And I would even go on an edge and say anybody's life that increases a little bit is a victory. I mean, if we've got somebody that has simply not been able to get out of bed and walk into the kitchen, and now they can, or they can walk into the bathroom, something is happening in their body. The nutrition is doing something to the body, and their quality of life is increasing. I bring this up because I don't want us to forget that that's who we are, that we are the Moringa company. And some of these ingredients and some of these concepts that we've been talking about today and over the last few weeks on the call are simply just educating us on the product as a whole. We're not compromising the Moringa that is in the products. Ken as a person, Rod as a person, morally and ethically could not do that. And we're very confident in the product line that we offer here at Zija and the nutrition and benefits that come with it. So again, educate yourself. If you've got questions, please email them into us. And with that being said, I want to end with a quote. This is by Marcus Garvey. This is something I read a few days ago as I was reading a book that was recommended to me. And the quote goes something like this. As a person, without the knowledge of their past, their history, their origin, and their culture, is like a tree without roots. Some of you on this call are interested in the business side of Zija. Some of you on this call are interested in the product side of Zija, and we thank you both for being interested in Zija. But know the comp plan, know the business side. You are going to study. You're going to spend time studying how to maximize the comp plan. Do you enjoy the products? Spend time understanding what the products do and what they're there for. So with that being said, thank you for joining today's Ask the Scientist call. And again, I want to encourage you to please email us any questions that you're receiving or that you have on any of the products we have. Please give a shout out, tell us your name and where you're from, and say goodbye. The lines are now open.